Hello, this is Double T Man with another video. I'm going to talk about the Steelers' window of winning the Super Bowl and what I think they should do going forward to get to that window, to get to that Super Bowl. Because that's all that matters is winning the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter if about how many winning seasons we have in a row. It's all about winning Super Bowls. First of all, I think you need three things in order to win the Super Bowl. I think you need a quarterback. I think you need good drafts. And I think you need to make smart moves when it comes to salary cap and free agency. Now, this video is based on the premise that Pickett is good enough to win the Super Bowl. So the quarterback is going to be a check mark. Kenny Pickett, rookie quarterback. Now, he's not going to win this rookie year because no rookie's ever won the Super Bowl. Uh, but his best chance to win the Super Bowl for him is in his first 5 years of his career. Historically, you look back at it, Big Ben, he wins 2 Super Bowls in his first 5 years. He doesn't win any afterward. Did he get worse after 5 years? No. He's like every other quarterback. He got better and better and better. But once you start paying him, it's hard to win Super Bowls. Back the last 20 years, I looked it up. If you were one of the top 10 quarterbacks, the highest paid quarterbacks, you weren't winning the Super Bowl 7 out of 20 times is the only time you'd win. 13 out of 20 times, it was a quarterback being outside that top 10. So it's not paying the quarterback, it's not paying the quarterback when it gives you the best chance at winning. And the best chance out of that group is somebody within their first 5 years in their career. Because they can play great but still be cheap. That's where your biggest advantage is. 30, 35, coming in a couple of years, maybe $40 million a year. That's how much you're saving in the quarterback versus your Patrick Mahomes, your Deshaun Watsons. Go ahead, try to win with those rich people. Pittsburgh's tried to do it for years. It's tough. So 23, 24, 25, and 26 are Kenny Pickett's best chances of winning the Super Bowl, which means it's the Steelers' in the immediate future best chances of winning the Super Bowl. What does the draft tell us? Well, a while back we drafted Devin Bush. He's in his last year of his contract, but because they gave up future capital to get him, they're also going to pay for that next year. So they won't be totally clear of that draft clear of that mistake until 2024. Most of it will be cleared up this year, but there'll still be a little bit left over that needs to be cleared up for the 2024 season. A loss of a draft pick specifically. Steelers had an excellent draft in 2022. I mean, like I said, if Kenny Pickett's good enough, that's a really good draft because he's a good pick. Pick 20 to get a Super Bowl capable quarterback, a guy who's ready to play because Pickett is ready to play based on his experience, maturity, how old he is. He's ready to play. He's ready to win. To get that at number 20 is a fantastic pick. To get George Pickens in the second round is a steal. He is a freaky good receiver. They did good in the third round with the Marvin Leal. Was he great? I don't know. We'll see. Defensive lineman, take a couple of years. He looks pretty good. We'll have to wait and see. Calvin Austin III looked outstanding during training camp. Got hurt right before the preseason. Haven't seen him. Heard great reports, fantastic reports, saying he would be the talk of the town if it wasn't for the fact that George Pickens was making these supernatural catches every week, every day. Calvin Austin III, because he was so fast, would have been the talk of the town. Fifth round, Connor Haywood looks to be a really good tight end. He's a good blocker. He's a good receiver. That makes him a really good tight end. Jaylen Warren looks like a stud at running back. I think he's better than Najee Harris, who was a first-round pick. He was an undrafted free agent. Mark Robinson was a linebacker last year. Prior to that, he was running back. He made splash play after splash play during the preseason. I don't know. He's the biggest gamble. He's the biggest wild card out of this whole draft. I don't know how good he is. Probably won't know this year. He may not even get any playing time. If he does, it'll be very limited at the end of the season. His rookie year is essentially going to be next year. That's when we'll get a chance to really see if Mark Robinson is for real or if it was a mirage. But he was a running back, switching positions. He made splash plays. That's what you're looking for on defense now. You're not looking for so much for consistency. Consistency's nice, but today's NFL, you need splash plays because the advantage is the offense. You need a splash play to stop them. You need an interception, a tackle for loss, something like that. And Mark Robinson looked like he could provide those type of plays. We'll have to see. Preseason, hard to say too much. But the 2022 draft is looking like it was really good. The 2023 draft could be really, really good also. Why? Well, because Pittsburgh is 2-6. If they go 5-4, they're going to have a 7-10 record. Going by last year 7-10. There were 4 teams that had a 7-10 record. They had the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th pick in the draft. Basically a top 10 pick. If Pittsburgh goes 5-4, which is reasonable, considering their schedule gets a lot easier than it was in the first half. I mean, let's face it, Kenny Pickett was thrown to the Wolves, playing Buffalo, Philadelphia, Miami. Who's that 4th team? Buffalo, Philadelphia, Miami. It's going to drive me like Tampa Bay. They all had really good defenses. Now we play New Orleans and we play Carolina and we play the Colts. We're going to start playing a lot weaker defenses, especially, like I said, New Orleans coming up right after the bye. Steelers get a chance to get hot. They can go 5-4. Yeah, we have 4 division games left. They're going to be tough. Cincinnati, Baltimore twice, and with Cleveland, going to be tough. But 5-4, I think, is a reasonable record for Pittsburgh. If they do, they'll go 7-10. They'll have a top 10 pick. They'll have top 10 for first round, top 10 pick in the second round, third round, fourth round. They don't have 5th and 6th, and they got 2 and 7. They traded Chase Claypool for a second round pick to Chicago. Chicago, I think, is 2 and 6 now too, because I think they lost during the Steelers bye week. They may be 2 and 7 or 3 and 6. I'm not really sure exactly what their record is, but they could end up somewhere around 7 and 10. Reasonable to think it's a top 10 pick in the second round. The Steelers are going to get from the Chicago Bears, especially because they got rid of their 2 best defensive players. So the 2023 draft looks like it has a chance of being really good. Now, drafts usually take a little while before they really show up. Like I said, Mark Robinson probably won't show up until the 2024 season. George Pickens is a freakishly good wide receiver, but statistically, he's not really doing that good. He'll do a lot better next year. It's the kind of things you see. So next year is when this year's draft is really going to pan out. So 23's draft is really not going to look that great in the 23. I mean, it could look great, but it's not going to do great until the 24 season. So the drafts kind of lean towards the 2024 season as being when your window for winning a Super Bowl really opens up. Now, free agency and the salary cap, you get to maneuver that. 2023, it doesn't really look all that good. They only have $8 million worth of cap room. They could make some moves to free up some room, but then they create dead space later on. Don't push the can down the road. We'll make some good moves. This is where I get into what I think they should do going forward. Make smart moves. You might have to push some money down the line to create some cap space. There are some people I want you to sign. I want you to sign Cam Sutton to a long-term deal. I want you to take him through the 26th season. Same thing with Alex Highsmith. I want you to sign him to a deal long enough to take him through the 2026 season. I'd like to see Cole, who looks like a pretty good center. I'd like to see him, but if we don't, we could do without. Draft next year. I think the first round, you're looking at left tackle, defensive line, or cornerback. Those are 3 of our desperate positions. We've been drafting offense the last 2 years. We really need to focus on defense in 23 because it's an old defense. It's an expensive one, but it's an old one, and you're going to need to save money going forward. And that's where one of the places you're going to save money, I think, is on defense by getting rid of the old players and replacing them with young players. So maybe defensive line in the first round, maybe corner. I'm thinking defensive line, first round, corner in the second round, maybe bringing a center. It's a good place to get a center, high in the second round, top 10 pick. Probably get a good center in the second round. That sets you up pretty good. Third round, high third round pick, top 10 pick in the third round is it's still a very significant pick. Except Pittsburgh we're not used to drafting this high. But they can still get a very capable player with that third round pick. Fourth round isn't so bad, but you start talking third round comp picks, it really pushes it down a little bit. So with that third round pick, it's still going to be really good. Remember, we've gotten Alex Highsmith. We've gotten good players in the third round. So, maybe they can get somebody like a middle linebacker, or maybe they can get a safety or something like that in the third round, or vice versa in the fourth round. Maybe pick up a wide receiver in the seventh round. This is what I think going forward. I know a lot of people want Pittsburgh to lose a lot of games. I don't. They say high draft pick. If we don't have a top 6 draft pick, blah, blah, blah. No, I want Kenny Pickett to look good. And he can't look good without winning games. He needs to put on points. And if he's looking good, and if he's scoring points and we're still losing, then that means our defense is a lot worse than what I think it is. and it's going to lead a lot more rebuilding than what I think it does. No, I want the young players, so Loudermilk and Montravius Adams um, and Alex Highsmith, and I want those players to look good. And the only way they can, they can't all look good and have Pittsburgh still lose, especially against some of the competition we're going to be playing. So I want them to win. I want them to win a lot of games. Uh, that's all I got. I want them to win. I want them to win a lot of games. I don't want them to lose. I think people that want them to lose is just ridiculous. Chase Claypool, by the way, I forgot to mention, was a no-brainer of a trade. He was fantastic. He wasn't going to help us in 24. He was going to be gone after the 23 season. This way, you get a high second round pick. Try to trade him after the season, you wouldn't get near that much. I don't think you'd get a second round pick. I really don't think you would. You're going into the draft. Why would you trade second round pick for a receiver you have for 1 year when you can draft one and have him for 4? They weren't going to trade. Nobody's giving up a second round pick. To get a high second round pick, definitely smart move. We'll see what's going forward. I want to see him win. I want to see Kenny Pickett do good. I want to see George Pickens do good. I want to see T.J. Watt do good. I want them all to do good. I don't think I want him to go 6-3. 5-4 is good. You still get a top 10 pick. 7-2, you're completing for the playoffs. 6-3, you're kind of in no man's land. I wouldn't mind it because they're still winning. It's building momentum. But probably out of all the situations, all the records that they could have, that's probably the one I would like the least. Yep, that's all I got. I'm done. Bye.